All right, so you've just taken your JEE main, and you're probably staring at that one single number, your percentile. It's stressful, right? But what does it actually mean? Well, today we're going to cut through all the noise and decode what that percentile really tells you about your final rank.
Look, this is the question, isn't it? The one on every student's mind. You see a 98 or a 99 and you think, hey, that's pretty good. But what does that actually translate to when it comes to getting into college? We're about to dive into the hard data and give you a super clear, no-nonsense picture of what the competition really looks like.
Okay, first things first. We've got to get the basics down. Percentile versus rank. Understanding the difference between these two is absolutely crucial because it's the foundation for everything we're about to break down.
So here's the easiest way to think about it. Percentile, that's all about how you did compared to everybody else. If you're in the 99th percentile, congrats. You scored better than 99% of the other people who took the test. It's relative. But rank is your exact spot in line, your number 100 or your number 5,000. It's your absolute fixed position. One's you're placed in the crowd, the other's your number on the list. Simple, but you gotta know the difference.
Okay, so this right here, this is our treasure map. It's the source material we're going to be digging into. Now, this isn't some guess or a prediction. This is the raw, hard data from the last few years. It tracks the exact percentile you needed to get a certain rank. This is where we find the real story.
So let's start at the very top. We're talking about the summit, the absolute peak, ranks 1 to 1,000. For anyone aiming this high, you are playing a completely different game. It's not about points anymore. It's a game of decimals. We're talking microscopic differences.
Just look at how clustered these numbers are. I mean, really look at them. To move between ranks 100, 500, and 1,000, we're not even talking about the first or second decimal place. We are way out in the fourth, fifth, and even sixth decimal place. The margins are so thin. It's absolutely wild.
And this number right here, this tells you everything you need to know about how the competition is heating up. To get the same rank 100, a student in 2023 had to score this much higher than someone in 2022. Yeah, it looks like nothing, right? 0.0008, but at this elite level, that tiny gap represents hundreds of incredibly smart students. It's an enormous difference.
So what's the bottom line here? For a top 1,000 rank, being nearly perfect just isn't good enough. Every single decimal point is a battleground, and that battle is getting tougher every single year.
Okay, let's leave the stratosphere and come back down to where most of the action happens. We're talking about that super crowded, super intense range from the 90th to the 99th percentile. If the top is a game of decimals, this is where things get absolutely chaotic.
Check out these numbers from 2023. Let's say you're sitting pretty at around the 99th percentile. Your rank is about 11,000. Not bad. But what happens if you drop just one single percentile point down to 98? Your rank doesn't just dip, it plummets. You fall 6,000 spots to 17,000. Another point down to 97, you're looking at 23,000. It's a massive drop.
And this chart really shows you the brutal reality of that fall. That huge jump between the bars, that's 6,000 other students who just jumped ahead of you in line. Think about that. In this zone, every single percentile point isn't a step. It's a massive wall made of thousands of your competitors.
And that's why this bracket is so unbelievably stressful, right? The sheer number of students packed in here is huge. Up at the top, you're separated by tiny decimals. But down here, one question you got right or one you got wrong could literally change your rank by thousands. It's just that crowded. Okay, so we've seen the fight at the top and the chaos in the middle. But let's zoom out. What's the big picture? Is it just me, or is this whole thing getting harder every year? Well, the data has an answer. Let's take a look.
Now this table is cool because it flips the question on its head. Instead of asking what rank does my percentile get me, it asks what percentile do I need to get a specific rank. And just look at the row for rank 20,000. See that big jump in 2023? Now look at rank 50,000. Same story. The trend is, yeah, it's pretty undeniable.
This timeline makes it crystal clear. Let's just focus on getting a top 50,000 rank. Look at that massive leap in 2023. It jumped by more than a full percentile point from the year before. So, to answer the question, is it getting harder? The data says a loud and clear yes. You have to score higher now to get the exact same rank you could have gotten a few years ago.
All right, so that's the past. What about the future?
Our source data actually gives us projections for 2024 and 2025. Now, super important disclaimer here. These are not guarantees. They're estimates based on the trends we've been seeing, but they give us a really interesting peek at what might be around the corner.
So let's take a rank of 30,000 as our example. The projections for 2024 and 2025, they basically say that the percentile you'll need is going to keep climbing. It's expected to be quite a bit higher than it even was in 2023. So that trend of rising competition, yeah, it looks like it's here to stay.
And just to be super clear on what we're looking at, a projection is not a fortune teller with a crystal ball. It's just math. It takes all the patterns we've just talked about, more students, tougher competition, and just extends that line into the future. So think of it as a guide, not the gospel. Okay, let's wrap this all up. What are the big things you need to remember? Number 1, at the very top, it's a game of tiny decimals. Number 2, that 90 to 99 percentile range is a jungle. It's the most crowded, and small slips mean huge falls in rank. And number 3, the bar is getting higher. It's just getting more competitive to land a specific rank. But look, the most important takeaway is this. This data isn't meant to scare you. Not at all. It's meant to empower you, to help you set smart, realistic goals so you can strategize your prep. Which leaves us with one final question for you. Now that you know what these numbers really mean, what are you going to do with this information? Is this data your destiny, something that's already written? Or is it your guide, a map that you can use to plan your next move? That choice is up to you.